Shelter is ranked second in the hierarchy of human needs, being the most important after food and the order of importance for survival. Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa and the 8th most populous country in the world, is facing serious housing challenge. This is evident in the available statistics indicating that 87% of the total population of households in the country live in rented apartments, while specifically in Lagos, 60% of residents are tenants, leaving household demand to an estimated figure of approximately 2.17 million annually. Most of the existing accommodation units are provided by private investors, and tenants have to pay rent as high as 50 to 70% of their monthly income. Glad to have you join me on yet another informative episode of Housing Development. Before we begin, as usual, let's see the news making rounds in the sector. I am Flora Ani, your Housing Diva.
Largest housing and construction expo in Africa, Africa International Housing Show (AIHS), has announced distinguished senators Tolulope Odebiyi Ogun West, Sam Egbu Ebonyi North, and Smath Adeyemi Kogi West as the AIHS Housing Friendly Personalities of the Year 2022. According to the AIHS coordinator, Festus Adebayo, the winners emerged after a thorough and diligent examination based on their significant influence and contributions to the expansion of the country's housing sector, having facilitated housing and construction-friendly bills at various levels of the Senate and the House of Representatives, and as such, it is considered necessary to honor and encourage others to do more for the development of the housing industry. Mr. Adebayo has said that the award will be presented at the opening ceremony of the 16th Africa International Housing Show to be held on the 25th to 28th of July 2022 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. He, however, noted the need for more political leaders to do more for housing and mortgage development in Nigeria, with the year 2023 in view. Benue State Ministry of Lands, Survey and Solid Minerals have successfully collected the land data of at least 10 of the 23 local government areas in the state. Bernard Unenge, Commissioner of the Ministry, revealed this at a briefing on the Benue Geographic Information System (BENGIS) project's current status. According to him, the capturing of data through flying and orthophoto has been completed. 10 local governments have been completed and put to use, enabling those who are far away to demand C of O and have it delivered by dispatch. He noted a quality control is being carried out to ensure that what is captured corresponds with what is readily available, as 15 other towns are being processed. Unenge stated that an estimation of over 3,000 certificates of occupancy have been signed by Governor Samuel Ortom. However, he disapproved of the behavior of young people who harassed land developers and extort from them, as such actions are illegal and a violation of the law. The Redeemed Christian Church of God's City of David Church has unveiled a 14-floor business and entertainment complex, ideally situated in the center of Victoria Island's rapidly expanding and commercial district of Oniru, Lagos. During a tour around the structure, Mr. Gbenga Olaniyan of Gbenga Olaniyan and Associates, a professional firm of estate surveyors and valuers, remarked that Trinity Towers was built to generate revenue so the church could carry out its numerous corporate social responsibility (CSR) programs. According to him, Trinity Towers stands out among its peers for having the best parking ratio of 1 to 33 square meters, accessibility by air, water and land, high lift square meters, boasting 14 lifts in the building, and well-appointed retail shops on the ground and upper floors, making the complex a one-stop shop for work, leisure and play. He noted that with the City of David having a major CSR project and expected rental income, excess of 2 billion naira per annum, All funds goes for charity.
For full details of the news and for more finance, housing and construction news, visit www.africanhousingnews.com. As people attempt to meet their immediate need for shelter, many low-income urban dwellers end up with poorly constructed shelters in locations that are unsafe and highly vulnerable to disasters and other types of environmental hazards. What risks are associated with living in slum settlement? Let's watch as this resident in Apo Dutse Community in Abuja react to this.
The housing development crew got there in the heat of the afternoon to get a clearer picture of what life truly looks like in Apo Dutse Community. The community is home to different individuals of different tribes who share one thing in common, that is, living in deplorable condition.
The problem we have here in Dutse, Apo Dutse, is security challenges and water challenges. In fact, we have not road. We don't have road. Where you go to junction, example, as I'm talking to you, you will see a lot of dirt. In fact, everywhere they hold Dutse entirely. Where you ask where you go deeply, you will see again. They have nowhere to throw all those dirt. I'm asking government to come, begging government to come and help us here in Apo Dutse.
This compound like this, we don't have toilet. If you enter my shop, you see water is leaking inside the shop. Rainfall yesterday in the night. You can see the environment. It's very bad, dirty everywhere.
A resident expressed his displeasure about the lack of good access roads, complaining about the unmotorable and poor condition of the roads, mainly during the raining season. He communicated his disappointment in the state of the school located in Apo Dutse, saying the environment was filthy and unkempt. Furthermore, he drew the attention of the housing development media crew to the porous nature of the community in terms of insecurity, while calling for the intervention of the government in helping the people living in the community.
One, we don't have access road. Why? Because when it's rainy season, coming to Dutse is just like going to desert. So the living condition in this area does not look as if people living here in the FCT. Then, so in terms of the security, everybody's on his own. Whatever you see, you wake up in the day and find out is. So the security is very poor. So those things are what made this area that looks very ugly. Even the school environment, the same thing. If you go around the school now, you see that everywhere is dirty. So the community, though the chief has been trying to the little one he can be able to do, but he has not, there's no way without the government coming to assist the people living in the area. So that's the problem one of the problems that we have in this community.
Life might seem just normal as many homes and families are made here in spite of the clear lack of infrastructure and poverty in Apo Dutse, a slum in the very heart of the capital.
One thing is certain, families living in slums lack the crucial conditions they need to live decently and strive as human beings. Everyone deserves a safe and decent shelter. Let's go for a short break. I'll be back.
Are you a political aspirant? Have you just won your party's primaries, thus vying for a political position? The Africa International Housing Show, AIHS, has created a platform to enlighten you on the importance of housing and how to achieve your housing agenda for the electorates. Be a part of the AIHS 2022 special sessions, focusing on housing for all, the role of government in creating an effective enabling environment, to be anchored by world-renowned housing development and finance experts, Dr. Marja Hughes-Smith of Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, USA. It's going to be free for all political actors, as this is your own way of contributing to the development of housing in Nigeria. This is an event you can't afford to miss, as it offers you the opportunity to meet all the leading housing experts across the globe, sharing their experiences on how they have achieved their affordable housing dreams to the extent of becoming the largest contributors to their nation's economy. AIHS 2022 comes up on the 25th to 28th of July 2022 at the International Conference Center, ICC, Abuja. Come and let's change the housing narrative in Nigeria. Collectively, we can. For more information, contact +234 909 999 9838. That is +234 909 999 9838, or email abujahousingshow@gmail.com. Remember, collectively, we can.
Welcome back. As preparations for the 2023 general elections picks up, citizens have called on the need for political aspirants at all levels to include improving the housing sector of Nigeria in their manifesto. Some citizens in the Federal Capital Territory who spoke to our correspondent say it is expedient for aspirants to prioritize affordable housing for Nigerians in both the federal, state and local level. Take a listen. The housing crisis in Nigeria has worsened in recent times, with statistics showing a deficit of 18 to 20 million in the year 2019, which was the last electoral year. Over time, the issue has continued to increase due to rapid growing population and urbanization. The 2023 general election is gradually drawing near, and citizens have full expectation from whoever will pilot the affairs of the country. They want government at all levels to work out modalities in ensuring that housing is affordable for all citizens.
What I will advise, especially the incoming government, to do is to see that they make it mandatory that no matter the level of one's income, the houses should be affordable for them to afford, because that is the most vital thing about life. So that is the advice I can give to them.
Actually, the reason for this lapses is because government over the years have not been doing enough to make provision for accessible houses to Nigerians, especially even the working class. So I think government can start now to make provisions for land, for affordable land for people to build houses. They can also make available funding for people to be able to access, especially the working class.
Tackling insecurity, investing in agriculture, youth empowerment, job creation, amongst others, are promises most aspirants include in their manifesto in each electoral year. However, the hope of Nigerians is that government should look into the more intense and critical insecurity faced by an average Nigerian, which is inadequate access to a comfortable and affordable housing. Experts say it is important for aspirants to introduce housing programs in their manifesto.
The housing corporations are there to sustain whatever plans and programs any governor has started and completed, or has started and has not completed. So that is the problem. The politicians don't usually come up with any housing program because there's no manifesto. Time has gone when a politician or even political parties have their manifestos and you see some of these ingredients in them. Nobody cares about that anymore. They buy delegates, they buy aspirants, and they buy whatever they do, and they come into power and start grappling with plans and policies. Time has come to change. We have to change some of these things.
The demand for affordable and quality housing in Nigeria is very high and grows steadily. In order to reduce the housing deficit in Nigeria, it is important for governments to have a collation and classification of housing data, which is largely insufficient in the country. There is also an urgent need to stimulate players in the housing sector to construct affordable housing for citizens at all levels.
What does it mean to set the pace? It's a bold resolve to relentlessly pursue a vision. It's imbibing a culture of excellence. It's unhindered dedication to service, an insatiable thirst for the craft, and the courage to learn and relearn. Setting the pace is beyond four walls. It's beyond an industry. It's beyond numbers. It's building the future. We are setting the pace.
You're watching Housing Development. How can the government improve social housing delivery for Nigerians? Now let's see the reactions of some Nigerians on Voices on the Streets. I'll be back.
Well, for me, I feel that government should consider building and try to find a way to break down the rent into maybe every particular, maybe every 3 months, every 4 months, every 6 months, and then tell the occupants to pay a particular amount of money instead of having to have private companies building and then telling you to pay 9 million, 10 million, 15 million to buy the entire building. So I feel that if government can actually step into it and then just decide to, okay, build an affordable home and then spill it over based on the capacity of the occupants, then that will solve a lot of problems.
To me, what the government should do more, first of all, to create more awareness to the general public. The awareness isn't enough as far as I'm concerned. And to create more policies. What I mean by policies, if more mortgage banks could be created, most especially with that is interest-free loans. You understand? That will attract more customers. I mean more of the general public. Interest-free loans. You understand? Or mortgage avenues. I think that will be more appropriate as far as I'm concerned.
An average citizen supposed to be able to pay money to the extent that within a particular year he'll be able to cover the money. Housing project is not an issue that federal government will just build and say we want to recover the money in 2 years or 3 years. So it is a program that they're supposed to spread along the years, so that even a particular person could not be able to finish paying it. His next of kin will continue to pay it, being the person that will inherit such a property. That is my own expectation from the government. There is nothing government can give to their citizens other than to give them affordable shelter and make sure that food is available to everybody's table.
Housing is one of the essentials of human. It's a way of providing shelter for the people. And so as a responsible government, all they are supposed to do is, to the best of my opinion, is develop these houses and let the low-income earners occupy it and be deducting this money from their salary in installment. And by so doing, I believe this problem of housing in Abuja, I know it's not only related to Abuja alone, but especially in Abuja, will be curtailed.
Voices on the street there. At this point, the role of social housing is absolutely crucial. It provides a home for people who cannot otherwise access one. It builds communities and gives people support, which helps them to live healthy, happy lives. The importance of housing cannot be overemphasized, especially for the low income in the society.
Cosgrove prepared for this moment. Every strategy, every step, it all inevitably led to this moment. It is said success is the offspring of preparation. Well, as a company, we are always ready for the next phase, and that next phase is here.
Cosgrove is resolved to be the investment partner of choice for institutional investors like BIPC to accomplish their mission. We came to a realization that Cosgrove Investment Limited is a very reliable investment company.
Today is a special day for me as chairman of BIPC. I'm excited to be here with all my board members.
That next phase is Cosgrove Smart Estate, Mabushi.
I hereby declare this project to commence.
Welcome back. It's just a few weeks to the most anticipated housing and construction event in Nigeria, the 16th Africa International Housing Show, formerly called Abuja International Housing Show. Preparations are in top gear as the coordinator of Africa's largest housing and construction expo, Africa International Housing Show, Festus Adebayo, says Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the Affordable Housing Friendly Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has been invited to declare open the 16th Annual Africa International Housing Show, scheduled for 25th to 28 July 2022. Now here's a look at some VIP guest speakers for the event. One of the indices for assessing the level of economic growth of a nation is adequate housing. The role of housing in growth and development is so vital that government all over the world make provisions for adequate housing of her citizens. As the demand for affordable housing grows, Nigeria must change the way it addresses its affordable housing strategies. That is it on today's episode of Housing Development. Thanks for watching. If you miss any part of the program, you can catch up on the YouTube channel Housing TV Africa. I remain your housing diva, Fleur Annie. See you soon.